Hello everyone and welcome to the 2022 Cyclocross World Championships here in Fayetteville, Arkansas, USA. I've been looking forward to competing on home soil for a long time now. A lot of energy has gone into bringing my best to this race. I've been training hard. I've been tracking my recovery on Whoop in the lead up, making sure I've been focusing on my process and dialing in my sleep and recovery and following my basic biometrics. You can get in the green with Whoop by using the code INTHERED to save on your first purchase. I'll link that in the notes below this video. We're starting the lap now under the finish line banner. I'm going out with my Team USA teammates. We got Gage Hecht, Scott McGill, and Eric Bruner. And you'll see early on that the course has a couple changes in it from when we raced the World Cup earlier this season in October. We're into the whole shot right now. We're bending right, left, right. And from the World Cup, you could see that this part of the course is a little bit tighter. That makes the start just a little bit more crucial. Right now, the conditions are pretty fast and dry. There are a couple greasy corners out there due to the fluctuating temperatures. It's dipping well below freezing overnight, thawing out during the day. You'll see there's some greasy corners, especially through this bigger descent earlier in the lap. Some ruts are forming, but this is part of the course where the start's very crucial, very high speed, and you want to use your momentum to slingshot up this hill to the right. You'll see that there's that brown patch, that line on the inside of the corner, kind of that natural apex. Watch the two wheels in front of me. Some of these corners are going slightly outside to look for that grippy patch out. This is one of these new sections here where it slingshots up to the right. Another part of the course where you want to protect the inside, make sure no one shoots the gap to get in front of you. If you have a good start, you're in good position, you're going to be able to protect that line and get through that smoothly. I think that'll be a big bottleneck point early in the race when there's a lot of traffic. Through that series of turns there, get back up to speed, accelerate up over this hump. So you're coming into this big descent with a little bit less speed. You have to accelerate back up, and then it's a big long descent here. And you'll start to see, this is what I'm talking about with some of the greasy corners. You'll see Eric Bruner and Scott McGill just in front, sliding out here and there, maybe a foot out on one of these corners. So this is bending to the right. I'm going out on Challenge Grifo tires at 22-23 PSI. That mid-range tire, there's a lot of fast rolling straightaway sections where you want that low rolling resistance, but then also, you see Scott just had to dab a foot there, a couple slick sections. Bruner's got his foot out. I'm trying this outside line just to see how much grip there is and what the approach is going to be like. A lot of free speed. Try to minimize the braking here because now we're starting to slingshot back up the climb. And this is really about a minute sustained effort, all out pedaling, totally anaerobic, trying to get back up and over, muscle the bike. And you'll start to see that you want to maintain your momentum. You're going to have good momentum towards the bottom. You see Scott McGill is starting to accelerate towards the base of this climb. And then it starts to kick up as we bend slowly to the right. The grade starts to increase, and it's just going to be out of the saddle really the entire way. Up this iconic power line climb here, it's just holding the wheel. But this isn't the hardest part of the climb. Another feature that they added later in this lap were a couple humps. You'll see it just after pit 1 and before pit 2. It's going to be very easy to go in the red here, and as we go by pit 1, it's going to be that moment of, all right, now I want to recover, but you can't totally recover then. You can't check out. You need to punch it one more time with the pedals to get up over this hump. You'll see what I'm talking about in a second. A lot of speed here, really pedaling the entire way and pedaling through most of these corners. This is going to be a very pedaling heavy track, just about following the wheel. We bend to the right after pit 1. This is what I'm talking about, punching up and over this climb. If you have this speed and momentum, you're going to be able to get up and over it fine. We're going up and over this mound here. Very easy to put a foot down. We just saw Eric Bruner do that. But dropping down, bending to the left, there's really no need to use the brakes. There are a couple nice ruts forming there. Maximize that momentum coming into this big straightaway where you can really open the throttle. Coming under this bridge here, and you'll see there are a couple ruts starting to form as we go over this mound here. I'm trying this outside line, and it slingshots you back up and over this. A couple ruts are forming on the back side of this mound. It's all about where you are in the group. This is going to be a real big group racing race. Right now, what we're looking at the weather, it's looking like it's going to be sunny, mid-50s in the Fahrenheit. For Saturdays and Sundays races, it's going to be fast. It's going to be a little bit warmer. Maybe we'll see the ground start to thaw out a little bit more. It's looking like freezing temperatures overnight again leading into those two races. This is a part of the course that was brand new. In the World Cup in October, we went almost straight into the stairs. This is a new part of the course. Some winding turns as we start to go slightly back down the backside of this hill. Some greasy parts again. That thawed out mud. It was freezing overnight, thawed out during the day. But look at Eric Bruner's wheel going slightly to the outside of that brown patch. We always say green means traction, green means go. So that means you're looking for the outside green patch in the grass. This time of year, January, the grass isn't too green here, but we're working with what we have. So going slightly to the outside of that greasy patch, looking for fresh traction. Here, we're coming into the staircase. After a very big pedaling heavy lap, looking for the recovery where you can get it. This is going to be a very heavy part of the course where you really want to make sure that you're placing your foot in the right places, really quick cadence, running quickly back into the pedals, and then we're dropping off this ledge. It's much steeper than it looks. Little pump, coming off with plenty of momentum. I'm sure we're going to see plenty of showboats in the race, maybe giving us a little flick of the bike. That'll be cool to see, great for the spectators. We're bending to the right, a little bit greasy, but this is, we saw in the World Cup, the heaviest, most wide open pedaling section, but now we have that big mound at the end of this straightaway. So it's all about kind of managing the effort, engaging the momentum well. Now look where I start to accelerate, not quite yet, but now I'm out of the saddle, and I'm able to get my momentum to pass Eric Bruner and Scott McGill right there, where they tried to have a little bit more of a sustained effort. I was also coming out from the draft, so I was able to use that effect. We're passing by pit 2 here. We're in the final minute of this course, really. 180 bending to the left after pit 2. With the conditions and the weather looking like they are, I don't anticipate a lot of changing of the bikes unless you have a big mechanical issue that you need to exchange a bike for. And this is where we're starting to go by this stone hinge type of feature. It's really unique and cool. Flowing turns, up, down, couple pumps, bending to the left, right. This is really, the sprint, in my opinion, has started already past pit 2. Leading into pit 2 is where the sprint needs to be won. There's not a lot of passing opportunities through these final corners. You're able to protect the inside well. We're going up, bending to the right here. And then we're dropping back on to the start-finish straight. We're seeing a lot of enthusiastic fans already. This is going to be a great course. It's going to be fast, maybe some greasy corners, but it's going to be a very tactical race. Really appreciate you all watching. Thanks for following along, and I hope you're able to tune into the racing this weekend. Take care.